Hello everyone. This video I'm going to show you how to make a Google Slide presentation to use for your instruction. It's really similar to PowerPoint, but the great thing with this is after I'm done, or even before I present the presentation or the material, I can actually send it to my students, the parents, and also students that I know that may be absent due to one reason or another, or students that miss time when I don't expect them to. So to begin, you'll go to your Gmail, unless you have these Google Apps on your dock. If you don't, you'll go to this icon right here, the 3x3 squares. You'll click on that icon. You'll see a bunch of Google Apps that will appear. They should most likely be in this same orientation, but it may be a little bit different. You'll be looking for the Google Slides icon. Once you click onto that, it would populate this screen. You'll see all the presentations that you have made or that someone has shared with you at some point. If you do decide to do this, I would recommend you to put dates, because not only will it make it easier for you to find your presentation, but also it makes it easier when you're sending it to your students and you can tell them the exact date that they're looking for and the title as well. So I'm going to show you a presentation that I've already have created. So I'm going to click on this. Once I do that, it'll populate the screen. But before I do that, I just want to direct your attention to these presentation themes. And obviously you can click on more and it will give you a bunch more and kind of more categories, so forth and so on. So I click on this plastic crab experience, and I just want to give you a few tips and hints on how to do certain things. You're going to find out if once it starts a blank slide, and say I wanted to drop this picture into this slide, you're going to find that actually it will not work. Or it may work and it's really pixelated. So I would caution you not to do that. For Google Slides, it seems to work much better if you use the insert image function. You'll see that this box shows up, and you can either choose an image to upload by clicking on this button, and then you could search your computer's desktop, hard drive, or external media to find a picture, and it will drop it into this. Or it has a click and drag function, where if I took an image from my desktop, you'll see that the icon adds a plus symbol, and that'll automatically upload into the space. And all I would need to do is adjust the photo to the size requirements that I would like it to be. So I'm just going to get rid of that. The next thing is you actually may want this image to link to something, whether it's actual to an actual video, a worksheet, another photograph on some other site. The possibilities are pretty much endless. For you to do that, again, it's pretty simple, we'll hit the insert function, and you're going to see that link is an option. Now, I did this purposely just to show you, because this may give you some frustration. You always have to make sure that you have the picture selected. And you'll know the picture is selected when you see this blue lines or border come around your picture. Alright? So if I go insert, now my link option is functional. You can also see that there's a hotkey with the Command and K. Once I click onto that, this link box will show up. This video will be going to a YouTube video. So very simply, all I had to do was click onto the URL, copy that URL, come down to this box, and then paste it. Ensure that you hit apply, and then the video or this image will be linked to that website. So let me show you what that looks like. The present button, I will always have to present to ensure that my links work. If I just click the photo here, it won't do anything. It'll just keep this blue border. Again, for me to test these links, I'll have to hit the present button. You should see that your arrow or your mouse cursor goes into or changes into a hand or a finger pointing. All right, so again, if it stays like this, unfortunately, the link didn't work. You want to ensure that it's a pointer. Once I click onto that, you'll see that it automatically directs me into the video and on the source that I want it to go to. Okay? Now, I've done this with, I think, 2 different videos. For the plastic crab experience, the students looked at an artist that was dealing with plastic caps just like they are, and a lot of the same other ideas and everything. So what I did was, and I'll show you this too because I think it's pretty important, I'll hit the present button. This links to the artist's website, and it has the student's directions here. So if I click on the image, it takes them directly to the website that I want them to be focused on, and they can complete that task relatively easy. And it saves me from writing the URL on the board or saying it a bunch of times, because all they have to do is click on that image and they're in the right spot. The rest of this is very similar to what you're used to on PowerPoint. A lot of the tools are the same. The interface is very similar. I don't see there being any other big issues. Great. So that's kind of what I use for this first initial experience here to get my students engaged in the work. Now, after you're done with this, you're going to want to go up to this section here. This is where you're going to name the presentation. You'll just click onto that and you'll see that it becomes active. And again, I'd recommend you write the date that the experience is happening and then also a title. It'll just make it really easy when you share it with the students to kind of direct them to the right source. And then to share, that's probably the most important thing. It's this blue button. If I hit share, it's obviously showing me the class that I've already shared it with. Okay. Before I would even start typing names into here, I would always adjust the viewing criteria, the viewing credentials. This will always usually be on Can Edit. And if you don't want the students to edit your presentation, because if I sent this as editable, they can literally go in and change everything and anything that I've sent to them, which could obviously be a good thing for some experiences and a bad for others. I usually do Can View. It is what it is. They can look at the presentation, they can click all the photos, do all the activities, and they're not changing anything. This here is if you wanted your students to make a presentation and you didn't want to quite change the wording, but you wanted to make comments as well. This will allow you to write in a different color so that when they get it back, they can see your specific comments without you actually changing any of their images or pictures or content. So I'm going to do Can View. And this is where it's great if you have your Google Contacts set up, because if I wanted to send this to a whole class, I already have their class titled something. So for me, it was easy to make it just 1516, the block, and then the class. And then I broke mine into parents and students for obvious reasons. If I wanted to go to the parents, go to the students, or both, it just makes it really simple. So if I were to populate this and I wanted to send this to the parents, I could just already click on this Google contact group, which again, you all should have done. And if you have any issues, I would talk to your TTLs. They'll be able to help you out. And I would just hit send, and that would be it. Also, the other great thing is, and I'll clean this up so you can see this. The other great thing of this is that, say I didn't do Google Contacts, or say I have a new student, I can actually just type in the student's name. Maybe I can't send it to myself. Okay, great, I can. I can type in the student's name, and I can just click on that student's name and send it directly to that individual. Since all of our students have their own Google account, Just as long as you know their name or even their last name, you'll see a list of possibilities, and then maybe you can decide what the student is if you kind of if it's a new student and you can't remember their name specifically. And I would just hit send, and this would automatically be sent to their Google Slides and Google Drive. So if they're having troubles finding it in their slides, if they have a lot of slide presentations, I'd recommend you to tell them to go to their Google Drive account and then look into this shared with me file, and it will be right there ready for them to access the information. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please seek my assistance. I'll be glad to help you.